Good morning and welcome to the autopsy of her healing, evolving resiliency. I'm Iris Denise Owens, your host, and on the line with me is my beautiful sister and co-host. Good morning, honey bunny.
Good morning, honey bunny. Stephanie Deani Green.
It
Good
is
morning,
so good to
everybody.
see you.
It's good to see you too. It seems like we haven't
How's
been here for a moment.
well, just a week.
I know, but it seems like it. I'm not saying it was. It
Yeah,
just
right.
seems
It seems like a long time. Yes, right.
exactly.
And it does. I was gonna say because it does seem like that. Like when we record every week, and then if
Uh-huh.
we just go a day past or whatever, it does. It's like, man, what's the last time I saw you?
Exactly. That's true.
It's like, where you been? Where you been?
Yeah, me too.
Right.
For sure.
Yes. So how's your week been going? You had a good week this week?
I had a great week. A lot going
Awesome.
on, but it was a great week. Got a lot of
Awesome.
rest. You know,
Good.
my little companion, he's still visiting, his sister. So
Okay.
because he's the one that you like, wait, you gotta take me out, you gotta feed me, you gotta do this, so since he's been visiting, I've been kind of like, had like a little bit more time on my hands to myself, not so
Yes.
demanding. Yeah.
Oh, that's
'Cause
right. I forgot. He's still visiting with his other mommy.
he's still visiting. Yes, he is. He's still visiting.
Nice.
Yeah, she got him groomed and she just like, so I haven't heard nothing
Oh,
yet. So I'm like saying,
oh,
like, I need to get
beautiful.
him back a little bit because he's gonna have to go back there when I go in the month when I go to Orlando. So,
Okay.
I can't let him overstay his welcome. So he needs to come back home soon. I do
So in
miss him
case
though.
so in case all of you are wondering, we're not talking about a child, but it is a child. But we're talking about just
Never
baby,
child too.
her fur baby. So because it is a child, having a pet is like having a child. Like even after
It's
your
true. That's like having a baby because eventually a child is gonna grow up and feed itself
right and
and
move
then
out and go somewhere, not these
oh
pets.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. You gotta take care of them. You gotta walk them. Your child will eventually take their own selves to, go to the
Yes.
bathroom. Not a
Yes,
dog.
they learn how to tie their shoes, feed
Yes, they
themselves,
do.
dress themselves.
Mhm.
They gain
Yeah.
independence, not with pets. You are
And
forever a
they'll start
parent
making
to
breakfast for
pets.
you. They'll start bringing you breakfast, the kids, or
Oh,
they'll be
yes.
cooking dinner. I come home and she has dinner done. And yeah, Dash not gonna have nothing done. He be looking at me like, I need to eat now. Or you need to take me out
Yes,
now.
yes,
So they're
yes,
always the
yes,
boss of you. That's that.
yes.
Somebody said that to me. I would have to think about it. That's really true. A dog will boss you to no end.
Oh, yes. If you let them, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just to
Yeah,
the boss of the fact that you have to take them out. They say, I need to
yeah,
go out now. I'm hungry. Dash let me know I'm hungry. He don't let me know I need to go out now. Unless you
yes,
want to mess right here, but otherwise to take me out. At least he'll let me know. And you have to
right.
do it. You have no choice. So they
Yes,
are the boss. So even when they're well trained, they still tell you what to do.
yes. Well, we are going to share with you all what we have been telling you all that we do. As if you tune in, you know that we are both life coaches. And we realized today that it's like, you know what, we never actually talked about in depth what that means or what it is that we do. We've explained it a few times, but we've never actually had a conversation about it in depth. So today, what we're actually going to do is we're going to have a coaching session between the two of us. And so then this way you get an idea of what a life coach actually can do and how they can help you and how they can assist you. So our topic today is going to be fourth quarter because we are now in October. So
Hmm.
we are in the fourth quarter of the year. Some of us are in the fourth quarter of life. Some of us
Hmm.
are in the fourth quarter of our education or our careers, or,
Hmm.
our children may be in the fourth quarter. Like your kids are getting ready to graduate from high school and they're about to go off and go to college and start the first quarter of their adult life. So,
You graduate from college.
and right,
She's
right,
graduating from college.
right. And so we just thought it would be a really great idea and a great opportunity to share with you what coaching is. And so, um, as I said, this being October, we have less than probably about 70 something days. I think
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago it was like 100 days, and we have less than 100 something days left, or less than 70 something days left in this month, in this year rather. And
Mhm.
then we will be entering into 2022. And so it's really now a good time to really start considering your goals for 2022. And those goals can, obviously those can be career goals, education goals, life goals, relationship goals, um, whatever it is that you feel that you need to do. But before you start there, want to give you the opportunity to consider, because being in the fourth quarter for a lot of people, that creates panic, because you're like, maybe you made goals last year and or for this year, and maybe you've made goals before in your life for the things that you want to see in your life and what you would like to do. And I'm not talking about like those new year resolutions type things. I stopped making new year's resolutions a long time ago,
Mhm.
um, because typically it is one of those things where in the beginning of the year or the first month, January, you're all gun-ho about it. And then normally by like the second week, like, if you've ever joined a gym in the beginning of the year, oh my God, this thing is packed, it's overflowing.
Yep, yep,
There are
so
no
true.
machine. There are no machines available. There are all these people, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that." And by about the third week of January, by the fourth week
Mhm.
of January,
Whole bunch of free
that joint
machines.
is
You go in and
cleared
pick your
out.
stuff.
It is cleared out. You can get on
It's
any
true.
machine you want, anytime you want, because nobody is there.
That is so funny, but that is so, so true.
But it's so true. And it is, I'm telling you, for years, that is not something that has just started happening or because of COVID.
No.
That is
Mm.
always the way it goes. People always set these high expectations for what they're going to do. And it's typically, you start with that physical thing that I'm going to, start working out more. I'm going to eat more healthy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But don't want you to become discouraged, because always in, you know making goals or looking at your life, you have to look at, what have I accomplished in
Exactly.
this year? What have I
That's right.
accomplished?
Mhm.
you know what
Mhm.
was I what was it that I was able to do, and that I
Mhm.
stayed the course?
Mhm.
That's very important. So
Yep.
again, don't beat yourself up. Look at
No, not
what
at
you
all.
have done. Where
Mhm.
have you come from? Where did you move the needle in your life?
Mhm. Exactly.
Right? So it's very important to focus right there, to really
Mhm.
start there.
Mhm.
What have I accomplished? Right? Then once you look at that, you also have to look at, so if I've accomplished some things, what can I celebrate?
Mhm.
Because you
Mhm.
should celebrate the things that you've already accomplished.
Mhm. You celebrate
And
all of them. Yep.
exactly, always celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how big or how small they are. You should
Mhm.
celebrate them, because you have to keep yourself motivated. So it's very
Exactly.
important to do
Mhm.
that, right? Then you have to also think about the attitude that you have towards your accomplishments
Mhm.
and how you celebrate yourself,
Mhm.
right? So remember to always celebrate,
Mhm.
right? Because anytime you move the needle, anytime you've done something that you said you set out to do, and you're working on it, then
Mhm.
we'll go back to the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. It
Mhm.
wasn't even
That's right.
built in a year.
Nope, not at
So
all. Mhm.
always remember that progress takes time, but progress needs consistency. And if you can be consistent, that is your first pathway into making change and staying on top and on task with your goals.
That's so
So
true.
that's very
Consistency is
important.
the key. Hmm.
Right. And I also think it's very important that we learn to have self-compassion. Now you may
Yes.
say, what is that?
Hmm.
Self-compassion. I relate self-compassion to, I always say, be careful how you talk to yourself about yourself, because
Hmm.
you are listening,
Exactly.
right?
You
Does
do
that
always
make
say
sense?
that. Yep, it's true though.
Always be careful how you talk about yourself to
Hmm.
yourself, because
Hmm.
you are listening. So when you have set a goal for yourself, or you've set something that you have, started out to do, and you get distracted, or it gets derailed, or whatever happens, that you didn't get to where you thought you would be by the time that you set for yourself,
Hmm.
that's where your attitude comes in to be positive. Again, what have you accomplished? How far have you come? And celebrating those accomplishments and what you have done. It's very important to always keep that in mind. Uh, you also want to build self efficacy,
Hmm.
right? And so that is spending, to do that, you need to spend time with analyzing, self analyzation. It's very
Hmm.
important. You know, what do I need to do? How can I do it? What what is stopping me from doing it? But right, but also giving yourself praise for what you are and what you have done. Again, right?
Hmm.
And it's not the puffed up pride. It
Yeah,
is giving yourself grace.
that's right.
And that's very important right now, giving ourselves grace and learning how to give other people grace.
Hmm.
Whew, it is so necessary and so needed,
Yes.
especially in the last, these almost 2 years that we have all been through. We have
Yes. Oh my
all
God.
experienced
Mhm.
things that we could have never thought or imagined, that we would be in the
Not
situation
ever.
we have been
Exactly. Not
in,
ever. Hmm. It's so
right?
true. Yeah.
um so many things came up in all of our lives, where we didn't even have the opportunity to plan for it.
No.
it was it was
No.
like boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
I mean, it was nonstop, and it's still
You
nonstop.
know, when you don't have control of your own life, it's a scary feeling. You know, when,
Absolutely.
well, I mean, outside of the, the powers that be, but to have like, oh, you can't work. The government just shut down. You can't do. I mean, that's a scary place to be for anybody.
Absolutely.
You know, you couldn't leave
Absolutely.
your house. I mean, you couldn't see your loved ones. You know, some
Yes.
people wasn't able to see their children who were away in school. You
Yes.
know, or they lived away, or it was just some people were just stuck where they were, and that was
Yes.
scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think for people, even if we were living together, like if you were with your family in, oh my gosh, I forgot what we were doing. Not,
Oh,
not,
what?
oh my God. No, the
Well,
word that we had to do when we stayed inside.
isolation.
Yeah, isolating, but it was, what did we call that? There was
Oh
another
yeah.
word for it.
Oh, I know
It'll
what you're
come
saying. Okay. Yeah. Right.
it'll
Right.
it'll
Right.
come to me. But
Mm-hmm.
even when we were doing that with our loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't hug each other.
I know.
I don't even think we all realize how much was literally taken from us in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the self, or a human interaction, not self, human interaction.
Oh yes,
Um,
that's wow, yes. Because man is an
because
island. We need each other.
right, right.
We
And we
definitely need
need,
each other. That human contact, that human touch is very, very
absolutely,
important. And people, you don't probably
absolutely,
realize until you miss it, until you don't have
right,
it. Some
right.
people like, I mean, even if you say you're a loner, you live alone, whatever, and some people function very well like that. Like I'm one of
Yes,
those people, but you can
right,
still go out into the world and be
right.
amongst people, and people and still get
Absolutely.
that energy and still feel that you have some type of contact.
Yes.
may not be having a conversation with that person, but you walk
Right.
by. If you're at the grocery store, you stand in line with other people.
Right.
You walk on the street, other people on the
Right.
street with you. You're still gaining from that.
Yes.
When you have none of
Right.
that, that's a whole nother story, and it is
Right.
very, very
It
scary.
is. It's
It's
very,
like
and
very
I
solitary, very
yes.
solitariness, and it's very
Right.
like, and now you see, but you see the ramifications of that now, because
Correct.
people are having serious mental issues,
Oh yes.
more so than ever. I mean, I think
Absolutely.
everybody has a touch of that in different in their life, but now it has gotten to the place when people were alone for so long. Like back to your favorite show, This Is Us.
Mm-hmm.
One of the creators, sorry to say, she committed suicide,
Right.
and out of loneliness. Some people didn't realize they were so lonely they needed to go to work, they needed to be around other people, and then when this whole thing happened, you were there
Yes.
just by yourself. People didn't have
Right.
anyone.
Right.
And what it did cause people to do, either people found out that I don't want to be married to you no more. There's a whole bunch of divorces going on, or a
Correct.
whole bunch of people getting married, and there were a whole bunch of babies being made.
Yes. Right.
All of
Right.
those three things was happening in those situations. They had so many divorces going on in China. They had to cease and desist. They had to they had to cut it down because people
Right.
getting divorced like that. But sometimes couples never spent that many hours together in their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You
And
know.
people realize that I don't, maybe I do know you, and
Hmm.
what I didn't know about you and what I've learned
Hmm.
about you in this,
Hmm.
because COVID really created a solitary confinement, like being
Hmm.
imprisoned. it,
Right.
it
It's true.
really
That's,
was. you
hmm.
you were you had the keys, you could open the door, but you
Hmm.
couldn't go through it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And even if you went through it, your mind was on such high alert. To go to a grocery store was like, oh my God, please don't talk to me. Please don't stand
Hmm.
close to me. I am not going to talk to
Hmm.
you. I don't want you to talk to me.
Hmm.
I don't want to feel your breath anywhere near my hair, my ear, because that means you're way too close to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so what it caused us is to be even more guarded.
Hmm. Oh,
Necessary.
absolutely.
It was necessary
Hmm.
and still necessary, but it created such a
Yes.
divide in
Hmm.
the humanness of people,
Exactly.
right? And
Hmm.
so it was, like I said, the best I can is like being in solitary confinement, except the difference was we literally could open the door, but
Hmm.
we were afraid to open the door sometimes. And even when we had to open the door, we were
Hmm.
still afraid of what was going out the door and what was coming through the door,
Exactly.
you know. So so mentally, yes, it was, and it still is very taxing,
Yeah.
because
It's very, very disturbing.
we're
You know.
still in this situation. It's not like it just went away,
No,
you
it
know.
hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't gone
No,
anywhere.
you
And,
know.
and people are still dying from COVID.
Right. Right. And
It's still very
so
much alive.
just to touch back on building self-efficacy, you also want to consider, what can I do? Like, instead of focusing on what I can't do, what
Hmm.
can I do?
Hmm.
Right? What can I do in, if there's a situation or a matter in your life in which you feel you need to change, or you want it to change, or you need something to increase, decrease, whatever that may be, you have to figure out, what can I do in this
Hmm.
situation, and then focus there. And
Right.
even when you're focusing there, start with baby steps.
Hmm.
You know, my coach said the other day that when she wrote her first book, she kept saying, I don't know how to write a book. And so she said she started writing this book, but what she learned is that she learned that it was okay to give herself permission to write bad
Hmm.
rather than not write at all. I was
Hmm.
like, wow, that was very deep to me, because it
It's
was
true.
like, because we will allow the imperfection in what it is that we're trying to do to
Hmm.
stifle us.
Exactly. So true.
right?
Oh, it has to be perfect. It
Because
has to be
right,
right.
exactly.
I love that
I gotta
person.
I gotta know everything about it before I can start it. And so what happens? You never start it, right?
Exactly.
Or you start it, and because you didn't get the reviews you wanted, or you didn't get the feeling from it that you thought, then you push it on the back burner again,
Uh-huh.
right? So you do the stop and start, stop and start, start and start, like a car. A car needs to be loved on. If you keep stop and start, to eventually your transmission is going to be like, I quit. I'm done with you.
Exactly. So true. But
Eventually the
that's
car
just
goes,
with us.
I'm
With us
done
with
with
the
you.
podcast. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. You know, he's like, I'm waiting for you. And he's like, come on, we're gonna do a trial run today. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then you call like I'm loading it. I'm gonna upload it. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, he's like, we don't do it. We won't never do it. We keep gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Exactly.
And it was so true.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we could have found there could have been every reason for us
And it
not
was,
to,
but it
we could
was.
have found 1,000 reasons to not do this.
Right, right,
And
right.
I am so grateful and so thankful that you were willing to take that leap with me. Because out of the two of us, I'm definitely the risk taker, right? I'm
Yes.
Amelia Earhart. I'm gonna get
Yes.
in a plane. Steph will be like, let me see the plane fly first a few times, and then we can talk about it. But
Let me see the plane. But if I'm flying the plane, I somewhat feel a little bit better. Like if I'm the
yes,
fly, if I'm flying
yes,
the plane, I got it. But yes,
that's a great analogy. So Amelia Earhart and my co-pilot over here, we jumped into it. We jumped it, and that I think that's one of the reasons why. Also, I was thinking the other night, because of course, whenever we're getting ready to have a session, I always, at night, I'm always planning and thinking what it is that we want to deliver and what it is that we want to share on the podcast. And so I don't know if you all notice, but I notice I always say, so let's jump right in. Let's jump in. Because that's really what life is.
it's
Sometimes you
true.
just got to
Yeah.
jump in, right?
If you don't jump
It,
into life, it'll just leave you standing on the sidelines.
absolutely. And I remember that, if you remember, if any of you ever played jump rope or you played double dutch,
Yeah, double dutch.
it was
Yes,
like, jump
okay.
in, jump
Yeah,
in. And if you was on the side too long, they'd be like, okay, next.
yeah,
They'd be
exactly.
like, next.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Now
then
I'm,
you'd
I'm
be
double
like,
hands. I could never turn double dutch. He double hands.
I I could turn it, and I did it for some time. And it's so funny we're talking, because about 5 years ago at our family reunion, we played double dutch, and I was like, man, this brings back memories. But just remember, you got to be willing to jump in. But
It's
even in
true.
the jumping in, start, like, think of it as writing a book. Start with a small chapter.
Hmm.
So maybe the first chapter is only a page.
And,
Maybe
and
the
and
first
that could be a
chapter,
chapter, and that's okay.
and this,
Okay.
right, because remember, it is your creation. It doesn't have to look like everyone else's creation. Your book could be, you could have a book and every chapter is what, one paragraph, and you can
Mm-hmm.
name it small chapter book. People will be like, small chapter book.
Look at the book, but they'll
And then they
buy it.
open it and they see every small chapter book.
Look at the
They get
book.
it. They
It's
get
true.
it, right?
So true.
Or you could write a book and maybe one topic is one paragraph. That next thing that really speaks to you, it may have 5 paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe your book ends up being the book of chapters. What? The point is, though, start small, baby
Mm-hmm.
steps. Don't let the idea of what you're trying to do intimidate you to the point where you don't do anything, where
Which
you
is true.
overthink
Mhm.
it, you overanalyze it, because
Then you
that when we
overwhelm
do that,
yourself. And then you get like, when
right,
you're overwhelmed, you're just like, oh my God, you
right,
become like, you just stand still. It just, stops you in your tracks, when you
correct,
become overwhelmed. And you do, I
right,
had to learn that. And like my favorite saying is, how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. Because sometimes my
yes,
head just is spinning like, okay, I got to back
right,
all the way up because then I don't know where to start. you know.
Right.
So a little bit at a time, those baby steps, and you start to build momentum. And when that momentum starts coming, oh boy, you want it now, and it just start moving, and you feel so much better, you know. But when
Correct.
you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to. It's like even through your day, you know, you have your to do list. You know, if you
Correct.
don't, your if I get through the three, like if I have 10 things, I get through my top three. I feel very good about that.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know, I don't feel like, oh, beat
Right.
myself up because I didn't do the whole 10. I
Right.
did what I could do and got it accomplished, you know.
Right.
And another thing
Right.
where I realized, like sometimes, you know, we always trying to fit so much into the day, into the hour, into the minute, you know.
Absolutely.
And I realize now that as I have been doing, like having to do a lot of things and kind of at my own pace, you know, and just trying to make it happen. And you know, I think when I'm thinking I'm running behind, I'm running, you know, behind, I'm right on time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, because it just like I can't worry about that. And when I show everybody's like, oh, we're still waiting or whatever, and I'm right on time. You know, just when you think, you know, so
Right.
everything, you know, when you gotta take a deep breath and keep it moving. Because
Correct.
otherwise, you know, you will really hurt yourself. You will become in a mental state that you cannot function at all.
Yes.
And don't allow people to do that to you. I never forget when
Exactly.
when I had a whole full family, you know, my husband, kids, you know, and they're all ready, made sure they were good, cooked breakfast, we all trying to get, are you ready? Well, I'm holding my dress in my hand, so do I look ready? Like, why are you asking me, am I ready? Like, come on, like that. So I
Right.
go do something, you know what I mean? Just let me
Right.
do what I need to do, you know, and then you do what you need to do. I never forget,
Right.
we got a call early one morning that my husband at the time, his father's being baptized. He's like, oh, I want to go, you know, whatever. But now I had to jump up. I had a toddler, you know, she was like 8 months old, trying to get her ready. And he was like, oh, just throw something on her. I'm like, you know, that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he left us, you know, like, I gotta go buy. I was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? But it could have been like, you help, you know, okay, let me go fix the breakfast and you take care of her
Right.
and you know, whatever.
Correct.
Anytime you're still doing everything, get the breakfast, gotta fix her, gotta do you know, it just gets to be, you know, and sometimes in certain situations, especially when it's a whole group of people, you need
Right.
help. It's not just you need
Right.
help, you know,
Right.
and try to put all that together. When you run a whole family and women run the household, it's a lot on our plate, you know.
Oh, yes.
So, especially when your kids are young and you have your kids, I have my kids really close together, both in Pampers at the same time. You know, you got the kids get together, you got to take the dog out, you got to cook the breakfast, you got to do this, you know. And I am that person. I'm never leaving the house without my bed made. But like
Well,
yesterday, sometimes that
that's me. That bed has to be made before
that
I
bed
leave the
has to be
house.
made. But I can tell you, I can honestly say a couple of times recently, I mean, it's not disheveled because I just spread my covers back, you know, when I open, let the bed, you know, air out. But I have left the house and not feeling bad. Like, oh, that's okay. It's not that I'll, you know, certain
Right.
things
The
I'm just,
world is not going to end because I didn't make my bed.
hello. My room still
Yes.
looks neat because I believe you come home to a clean room, leave a clean room. When I go on a vacation, my room is clean. I don't want to come back and it's a mess, you know.
Right.
But sometimes, you know, I'm not going to overwhelm myself with all those things.
Right.
And I feel better because I am a little OCD. I do know that, you know. So I know I don't, but you could drive yourself crazy, literally.
Yes. Yes. And you have to learn how to, when you were talking about gaining momentum, it is very important for the momentum, but you also have to realize to prioritize
Oh,
what's
absolutely.
really important. Like you
Yes.
said, I may have a to-do list, right? Like at night before I go to bed, I look at my calendar so that I can know what I'm doing the next day. Um, because sometimes I get consumed with all that I've been doing and then don't realize, oh, tomorrow you really got to do such and such and such. Before, I would rely on the fact that, okay, I know I'm getting up at such and such time. I have time to do this and do that.
Hmm.
I'll be fine. But what I also realize about myself, and I think a lot of us who are, let's just say, A type personality, We're
Yeah.
always trying to squeeze, and I'll speak for me. Okay, so I get up at 6:15. I know I need to be someplace at 9, which means I really need to be leaving my house probably around 8:15 most times, right? To get where I need to be at 9. And to get there at 9, not spinning on two wheels into the parking lot at 8:59, but to be there at least 8:50, 8:55, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what
Mm-hmm.
I do is I sabotage my own self because get up at 6:15, I make up my bed. That's the first thing I do every morning. Well, I know I pray, I have my time with God, then I make up my bed. Okay. Then I'll go to take a shower. And next thing I know, I'm cleaning the sink. I'm cleaning the toilet bowl. I'm cleaning the floor. I'm sweeping. I am doing. Why
I
are you
I could throw a
doing
load of
that?
laundry in. I could throw a load of laundry in. I could
Right.
like
Why? Why are you doing that? Are you not coming back home today? Yes, you are. Well, prayerfully, that's the intent, right? Coming back.
you look at
Okay.
the clock, you're like, ah.
Right. Then I look at the clock and now what time is it? It's 8:15 and I may not have gotten in the shower. I mean, no, I'm not dressed yet. I'm not having showered yet. And now I'm mad at myself going, why do you do this?
I do the
So
same thing.
you have to learn,
I think I have more
you have
time.
to learn, make a decision
That's right.
to
And stick to
get
it.
going. So when you get up in the morning, make the decision. This is all I'm doing right here, right?
Yep.
For
Yep.
me,
Please.
making my bed is a real thing. It's important to me because I do not. I'm like Steph. I'm OCD about some stuff. I do not. I don't like coming back home and getting into a bed that's unmade.
I
It
know.
it that thing it has to be made. Them sheets got to be snapped back. Them
Yep.
pillows
Yep.
have to be fluffed. Da, da, da,
Yep.
da. The eye covering got to be in the place it's supposed to be. Yes, it is OCD. It is anal. I absolutely agree. You don't
It's
have to
very
tell me.
anal.
Right. You don't have to tell me. I already know. But that is how I start my day. And I find that if I don't start my day or I break a routine, then the
Mm.
rest of the day I feel out of sorts,
Yeah. Me you both. I
you
know.
know?
I do too.
So it's important to prioritize and to have a to-do list and a schedule of what is my goal and what do I need to accomplish today, right? And so I do believe, because for years we've always been told, write your goals down. Your goals need to be in front of you. Your goals need to be in front of you. um it's important because we are visual people, and it's also a reminder to yourself of what you said you want to do. Because if it's not written down, if it's not someplace where you can see it, where you can go back and touch it or read it or do something, it is much easier to put it away and forget about it and make excuses about why you didn't do it, you know. So it's real important to set your goals and to have your intent set, and just feel like this is what I need to do, and right, like Steph said, I may have 10 things on my list, but if I have those first 3 things that are the priorities, then that's where I will focus. If I then realize that I can't get all 10 done, I need to get done what is most
Important.
important.
Mhm.
And or sometimes the thing that maybe it's not related to business, but on that list it says, have dinner with my kids tonight.
Mhm.
Be
Oh
on
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Be on
Mhm.
time for dinner tonight. Or
Mhm.
my child has a game or a recital or
Mhm.
whatever it is. But I promised that I would be there. Don't
Mhm.
don't put that thing at the bottom of the list. Maybe that needs to move up to number 3 on your list for that
Mhm.
day, because that's a priority,
Exactly.
right? It's important that we always remember, no matter what it is that we do in life, you're doing it, or you should be, you're doing it for the embetterment of your life and the lives of those you love and you take care of and you are responsible for.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
don't do it in a way that you make them resent that you do
That you're
this
doing
thing.
it. Exactly. Oh, they did, you do all that. You have no time for me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like
Yes.
that's more, so it's more important for you to see clients than it is for you to be at my game.
Exactly.
It's
It's
more
true.
important for you to go out and show this home to someone on, on Saturday afternoon when this was supposed to be our family time together. It's more
Mm-hmm.
important for you to do that. So that's what I'm saying. You have to learn to prioritize and put what's important first. And
That's
that
true.
includes yourself, your spouse or your significant other, and your children and your family.
Mm-hmm.
And now let me go back. Before all that, if you worship God, then that should
That's right.
be first. And then everything
Mm-hmm.
else comes after that, and
Mm-hmm.
everything will fall in place when you give it
Right.
to Him and you trust Him and
Mm-hmm.
ask for guidance and wisdom and for
Mm-hmm.
His help to help you get it done.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So
That makes a
that's
difference.
real important.
That's very
So
important. That makes a difference. Well, we're Christians, but so I believe, I believe in God that He has to help me. Without Him, I don't make it. You know. So if anybody
no.
watched our video when we didn't have no place to live, both of us, and God, oh, only our Father made it happen, honey. It made it happen very, very well. We both
Very,
ended up
very well.
moving into beautiful new places
On His time, not
on His side.
ours, on His
Exactly.
time. Right?
Exactly.
Which was,
Uh,
and like, as we say, this is what's so interesting about our lives, because it seems like when one is going through something, the other one is going through the same thing. But what do we do with that? We don't encourage each other in the, oh, woe is me, oh
no, no,
my
no. We're like, how we
God,
gonna
I
make this
cannot believe.
happen?
We're
Like,
like,
we
okay,
gotta
so this
strategize.
happened, this is happening, right? This is really happening.
Exactly. Yep.
What are you gonna do? What you doing? Right? And we
Hmm.
challenge each other. Okay, so now that you know this,
Hmm.
what are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
Right? And
Hmm.
we ask one another the hard questions, because
Yes.
it's real easy to listen to someone saying stuff and you in your mind you're going, you about to crash and burn.
Hmm.
And some people will be like, okay, well, have a nice day. Let me know how it goes after you crash
No,
and
we're
burn.
gonna we're gonna tell each other. Yeah, you will crash and burn if you do that now. You better think twice about that. You said what?
Right, right. I'm like, excuse you said you were gonna do what? Uh,
That-
uh,
yeah, that make
Steph
no sense.
knows. Steph knows. I'm quick for. She'll be telling me something. I'll be wait, what?
What?
And she does the same thing to me. She's like, I think that is not a good idea. That is not a good idea. I don't know what you're about to. I don't know why, but I'm just saying that's not a good idea.
Yes, yes. We tell each other the truth.
Right. I always laugh about my soror Lisa Anthony, and so Lisa has always been my voice of reason. Because she would always like, I'll be doing crazy. I'm about to do da, 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 and she'd say, now, if it was me, I would da 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 da. And I'd be like, yeah, okay, well, it's not you, it's me. But over the years, and I love her for that. And I always give her credit for being my voice of reason, because there
You
were
do, you
many times that I'm like, la, 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 la. I'm going about my way. I'm going to grandma's house down the wolf is at the other end. I got on my red hood and I'm gone. And she's going, excuse me.
Don't you see
I
that
don't think
wolf?
that's a good idea.
Don't you see that wolf?
Don't you see him? He's right there. He is right there.
It's true. Yeah.
There is no grandmother's house. She don't live there anymore. Come on back over
Exactly.
here. Come back over
Mhm.
here. And
That's right.
so that is something we all need, those people in our lives to remind us to sometimes throw out that hook and like, okay, come on back in, or
Hmm.
come back over here and set your behind down because you're doing too much.
Yep,
You know,
exactly. Definitely doing too much, honey.
right? You're doing too
Yep.
much. And
Hmm.
it's very, very important when you set these goals for yourself, right? And don't panic about what you haven't done.
Hmm.
Celebrate what you have done and then pick up from there to figure out how you're going to go into this first quarter of 2022 strong and hard.
Hmm.
Because that's what you want to do. Strong and hard.
I mean,
Set
you
the
definitely do.
goals, set
I
the
could say
plan.
like I know this year. Well, probably I stopped writing goals like probably a while ago. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Only just because when I would write my goals, there was my life never. It was always something just totally different. Like even when I think it's gonna be like, it never turns
Mm-hmm.
out that way. I know
Mm-hmm.
the things that I need to do, but for me, goals is like I mean, never in a million years if for a year from now, a year ago from now, I would
Right.
never thought that I am where I am now.
Right.
So like
Right.
totally, everything is totally different. Even
Right.
in thinking this is what I would have been doing,
Right.
I was thinking something totally different. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh no, is it so much better? Absolutely. And I guess
Absolutely.
that's why I kind of backed off me personally. But like just everyday goals, yes. But like those big goals, I don't really because my life just I ask God to illuminate my steps, and that's how it goes. And it's always so much better than what I could have ever written down.
Oh, absolutely. But
Yeah.
as a coach, you do encourage people to make
Oh,
goals. And
absolutely,
so
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
so you if you're going to share and direct people on doing it, you have to do it too.
I mean,
Right.
I do like, I mean, well,
Right.
yes, but I know why, like where always being a person and always working with counseling and things like that of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. Like I've been doing like
Mm-hmm.
basically since I'm 15 years old.
Right.
So I think my outlook about it is so much different. Like most people never had a coach or had a counselor or had anything of that
Right.
nature. I mean, this is
Correct.
something new for a lot of people. So it's just like, I mean, it's like the new driver. You know, when you're a new driver, it's a difference than when you're an older driver. You know,
Correct.
it's just the way. I mean, you know, your mindset's just a little different. So it's kind of like that. But definitely, you want to write down what you're doing, what you want to achieve, what
Correct.
you want to accomplish. Although that may be something may you may be on this trail, but also you on
Right.
this one. You know, because for some
Right.
reason, and not to say that it is bad, but this is just the one that you're going on. You know,
Correct.
that like, you know, something that you were doing, that one popped first. And it's
Right.
still good. You're still going in a
Right.
good place. Because you
Correct.
can't say like, oh, but this was my goal. Like, you know, I plan on doing this, and this. But then over here is like, oh, this is a good trail too. And oh,
Yes.
I can make 3 times more money over here than this, you know what I mean? So because some people will be like, oh no, they become very rigid. So I guess
Right.
my idea is not it's not like that. It's like you have to be also a little bit more fluid with what you're trying to accomplish, you know,
Right.
because like I always say too, we make plans, but God makes alterations.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh,
I'm
yes, he does.
because of all the things I've experienced, all the things I've been through in my life, I give more into my alterations than to my plans. I know it's going to be altered every single day, and ready for it too. Absolutely ready for it. I mean, some
Yes.
things that just like, what am I waiting for? And all of a sudden, bam, something happens, and I'm ready.
Yep.
You know, it's really,
Yep.
really interesting. But you have to think like that. I mean, like because you are what you think about, and
Oh,
that's a big thing.
absolutely. It
And
goes
most
back to your attitude.
It does. Your attitude is everything. It's your vibrational level of how you're attracting these things into your life. Because the reality is, like I say, things I tell people, you could write all the goals that you want, but if you don't feel that you're going to accomplish anything, you're not worthy of those things, it's not going to happen for you. Your
Correct.
vibrational level and how you believe in yourself is so important. How you bring, because if you
Absolutely.
say, oh, that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen, it's not going to
Right.
happen.
Right.
You know, you got to
Absolutely.
know that this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and be very positive, very sure that these things are going to happen for you. You know, you have to bring these things, just all these things, the things that we attract, we bring them to us.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so you have to be careful about what you're thinking about and what you're bringing to you. That is so, so important. And I do feel like I tell my clients, you can if you can get learn that, it will set you free.
Well, what you're saying brings me to the last point that I'm going to make about, you know, about setting your goals and what you're going to do in this last quarter is that you also need to create a positive peer group or create positive peer pressure. And so what that means is that we all know peer pressure is what, especially as teenagers, we were told, oh, you're doing what somebody else is doing. You're not thinking for yourself, that sort of thing. Well, to a degree, peer pressure is good, but you want
Absolutely.
positive peer
Positive
pressure.
factor.
And so what that means is that you want to have people who can energize you,
Hmm.
right? Who can help you multiply and who can definitely help you and help you to encourage you and also help you improve your goals,
Hmm.
right? So it's just like when you have a group of people, sometimes people are like, well, I'm the smartest person in the group of my friends. Well, you need new
That's a problem.
friends.
Exactly. That's a problem.
You need new friends.
Yes, you
You
do.
need new friends,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, that's
Because I
right.
feel like
They
your
can't challenge you.
circle, right, your circle should always challenge you. Your circle should always also ask you, what is it that you're planning to do? What's the next thing that you have going on? Or now that you've reached this goal that you set and you've accomplished that, what's next now? Because just because many of us appear to have satisfied goals or doing well in life, or there's always the things in your life that you feel you have not done for whatever reason
Absolutely.
that may be, or the things that
Absolutely.
you ignore or you don't tackle or you put on the back burner for many reasons. But
Hmm.
the people who are around you, if they know you and they know who you are and what you're about, they should be there to encourage you to say, so when are you going to write the book?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? When are you going to get this book started?
Hmm.
Small chapters. Maybe you just, write a chapter a day, or better yet, as my coach said, start with bad writing. Just start writing.
Hmm.
Then you can go back through it and figure out, oh, this is awful. Oh my God, but this right here is golden. Small chapters, small steps, right? Because the people that are around you, they want to be happy and they want to see you happy.
Yes,
If the
exactly.
people who are around you don't feel the need to see you happy, or you're always applauding them and congratulating them and
Hmm.
supporting them and their stuff, and they're looking at you going,
Hmm.
oh, thank you for coming, or
Hmm.
you really never do anything with your life. And you're like, wait, what?
Hmm.
it's,
Exactly.
it's important. Your group of
Hmm.
people your circle should be people who, when you need that swift kick in your butt
Hmm.
to get up and stop wallowing,
That's right.
you need those people. And they
It's so
also
true.
know, they also should be the people to understand that maybe you need that moment of wallow,
Yeah.
but they will give you a timer.
Hmm.
Like, okay, go. Get your
Hmm.
wallet on, get your pity party, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Hmm.
now when you're done with this, okay, what's next? Because we
Hmm.
can't we can't stay there. You can't live there,
You
and you can't
can't live
keep
in that
going,
state now.
and you can't keep going back to it either.
Exactly.
Nor can you
Exactly.
use it as excuses for why now you can't do what it is that you say you're going to do. Remember,
But
you want
now,
people in your life to energize you, help you multiply, and help
mhm,
encourage you to get where you're trying to go. And you should be the same for them.
for sure. I mean, absolutely. But if you are having mental health issues, where
Mm-hmm.
some people hide their mental health issues behind all these goals and all these things that they're doing.
Correct.
So you definitely have to get those things in place because if you're like the Energizer Bunny and you are accomplishing everything, you're just hitting the ball out of the park. But because you gotta like you don't take care of your own mental health. Once all these
Right.
things are over, then you're gonna crash and burn.
Right.
So you have to really, really take care of that. And a lot of people don't as they should, because a
Right.
lot of us, as just don't really know, like everybody wants love, but in order to gain love, you have to fall in love with yourself. And
first.
most people, right, most people haven't fallen in love with themselves,
Right.
unfortunately. So like if I write this book, people will love me. If I do this, I'll get love. If I do that, I get love. If I make all this money, people will love me. And that's not it. Because you
Right.
could do all those things and
Right.
still feel the same way. That's why you see people that have such big accomplishments, you on the outside looking in, and now they have committed suicide. And like, oh, I can't imagine if I had all that, I would never done that because you did not do the self care that you needed,
Right.
to have that strong mind, to take care of yourself and know that it's not all those things you accomplish that's love.
Right.
That's not what love is. That's accomplishments and that's a beautiful thing. But
Mm-hmm.
love is loving yourself and knowing who you are and treating yourself well and getting rest, taking care of yourself.
Correct.
I don't know, some people run around here talking about, oh, you only need 3 hours, 4 hours sleep and all that kind of stuff.
No.
I don't know what a lot of these people are talking about. That's a very dangerous thing.
Yes,
And
it
that's why a
is.
lot of people are having mental health issues. There's lack of rest.
Yes.
You have to get
Or
rest. You don't.
people will tell you, you don't, who needs sleep? Sleep is for
Hmm.
people who have, sleep is only for people who have accomplished things. No, because I
No,
can I can definitely get more things done when my mental health and my state is in the right place, as opposed
exactly.
to being completely exhausted and loopy because I'm tired and I'm
Hmm.
overexerting the energy I don't even have.
Exactly. I
So
used to
that's
have this
very
saying all
true.
the time, I'll sleep when I die. And I learned where that got me because I almost died. Okay. And I did not like
Twice.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
How
no,
about
no,
that?
exactly.
Yeah.
That
Right.
that wasn't fun, laying on
Right.
my bed and still dying. So I learned that that
Right.
wasn't the answer. Okay. Better get the
Right.
rest and take care of yourself and do all the things that you're supposed to do to take care of yourself, which is most important. So when you do reach those goals and have all those accomplishments, you feel really, really good about it on the
Right.
inside and on the outside.
Right. And
That makes a difference. You can
you
really
get to
appreciate it.
enjoy it. You get to
Exactly.
enjoy it, you
Exactly.
know?
That's important.
And so, and that's it. And then again, positive peer pressure, because if the people who are in your circle and they know you, like you just said, when they see you becoming like you're spiraling, even with
Mhm.
other people may say, oh, she's so busy, she's doing so much. But the people who know you are saying, that's not
Yeah,
normal for you. That's
exactly.
not that kind of that level of, pop is that's not you. What's really going on? Which
Yeah.
is why being isolated or not being able to be in front of people or to
Yes.
talk to
Dangerous.
people
Mhm.
is so dangerous, because
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
least somebody around you knows you're normal, when you're even
You have an
keeled.
idea.
They understand, even they
Mhm.
understand when you're under pressure, how you even
Mhm.
react under
Mhm.
pressure, or when something is not going well for you, they understand how you behave there. But when you are the complete opposite of who you normally are, those people will be able to identify, hey, wait, let's sit down, let's talk,
But
let's
even your voice, when you
find
hear
out
my
what's
voice
going
on
on with
the
you.
phone, but you would know
Right.
my voice. I know your voice. You
Right.
like, Steph, you don't sound good. What's going on? You could
What's
hear
going
it.
on?
You really know
Absolutely.
somebody, and I know,
Absolutely.
I mean, you were on me about you need to slow down. You're running around. You were on me. My sister was on me because you guys know me and love me, but you were telling
Yep.
me, you know what I mean? And so,
Yep.
and it's real, because you will
Right.
crash and burn,
Yep.
literally.
And we have to learn how to stop having to take on things that it's not our fight.
Oh, oh my
Because
God. So
we,
true.
oh my God, we and women are, woo,
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we
we
are.
are, we will
Because we're the
take on
caretakers for the world. We're
sometimes.
the
But you know what's so funny about it? Sometimes we won't take on our own stuff because
care-
we taking on everybody else's stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
we
true.
we will continue to ignore our
But
own
we got.
stuff that's right here. Like it's like
Mhm.
this, and we're like, stop,
Uh-huh.
stop it. But
It's
meanwhile, let's talk about you. Let's talk about what's going on with you. Da, da, da. Yeah,
exactly.
no, no, no. How about you deal with you, yourself, and I?
Mhm.
Let's do that.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, and we are
Well,
guilty of that. And I think
it's
we
true.
run away from our own. our own issues, and we think that, oh, I'm so busy helping everybody else. No, well, how about
Mhm.
you start with caring for yourself, self-care,
The
right?
man in the
Number one
mirror. That's what that
priority.
song is about. Let's start with the man in the mirror.
Exactly. And then let's work on ourselves first, and then we
Mm-hmm.
will be much better equipped to help others,
Mm-hmm.
right? To help others.
So
Heard what I said? Help others.
help. Right.
We cannot fix anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot change anybody. We cannot make anyone do anything they don't want to do,
That's true.
right? And nor should you make them. That is
Mm-hmm.
not your job. That is not what you were created for.
That's right.
You are there to listen,
Mm-hmm.
to help if you can
Mm-hmm.
help. If you realize you cannot help, release them. That's very important.
Oh, that is very important. That
If
is
you
so
cannot
important.
help someone,
Mm-hmm.
release them.
Yeah, it's true.
Release them. Release
Because
them
they will
and
drain you.
release yourself from them.
Mm-hmm. Because they will drain you.
Yes. And somebody's going to get hurt, if not both of you, in that,
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to, because pretty much what that is you are taking on something that you are not equipped to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that as human beings. We think that we can fix somebody else. We
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
that we have identified what it is that you're missing. And
Mm-hmm.
so if I can, provide
Mm-hmm.
that for you, of course, you're going to be better. Life is going to be grand for you because guess what? I have arrived. Stop it.
And because you
Stop
can't
it.
even fix yourself, only God can fix you. So how you
Stop it.
know?
Stop it right now. I want you to
You
stop
know,
it.
it's true. It is so true.
When you're writing your goals, do an inventory. Do an inventory. A person who I used to did some business deals with used to say that at the end of every year and going into the new year, that he would go through his phone, he'd go through his Facebook account, and he'd go through whatever, of things he
Mhm.
have
Yeah,
of
yeah,
contacts of people,
clean it up a little bit.
and he would clean that thing up. And at
Mhm.
first I was like, well, that's kind of crass.
Holes, right?
But now I'm like, man, look, strolling through, delete,
Mhm. I
delete.
don't know you. Who's this?
Who's
Okay.
what does Jasmine Sullivan? New phone, no kind. Who is this, baby?
Mhm.
Who is this?
Mhm.
Who are you?
If I
And
can't
what
have a direct conversation with you
and
on like
why
on
are you
Facebook,
here?
yeah, mhm,
Right.
yeah.
So
If I don't
do
know you
that
like that,
too.
I don't need all those friends.
Right. Right. Because really, you don't have that many friends. Don't
No,
don't kid yourself. That's where we get caught up. You don't have 400 or 4,000 friends. You do not.
you just don't.
If you lucky to have 2 to 3 good friends in your entire life, you've been blessed.
Absolutely.
If you get
So true.
one good friend in your life, you've been
Mhm.
blessed.
Exactly. So true.
But to think that these people are not your friends. 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers, they're not your friends.
Now
They
for
don't
business,
even they
that's a
don't
good
even
thing.
care. They don't even care about you. The only reason they follow you is because
You follow
you
them.
represent right, they're followers, but you represent the thing that they think they need in their life to be somebody.
Exactly, which is true. Hmm.
Remember that, because the minute you become unpopular, all those people go away.
Uh-huh. It's like just when you lose all your money, all the people go. The
Right,
people, all the
right,
hanger oners.
right. Stumble and fall in this thing, on this journey, this road called life, and see how many people are like, girl, bye, boy, bye.
Hmm.
They're like, oh, remember Iris who did it? Who? That's how that goes. So
One
when
day
you
I
are
was
doing
talking
your
to,
goals, when you're
but one
writing
day I
your
was talking.
goals,
You, I
get your
know you
inventory
always.
together.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, yeah, you have to watch with people because another a lady I know, she sells real estate too, and I was like, she called me one day about something, and this I was going through, with I don't think I filed for divorce yet, but it was, it's really tough that moments that heated that's what that heated time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I just started spinning. I was like, oh my God. And she was like, okay, I'll talk to you later. I mean, we talked, but she's like, I didn't know what to say. You were just like, because she called me about something. I was just, oh Lord, I was just throwing up all over her. And, but I could have been really in a bad situation, but
Right.
she wasn't gonna help me, and, because everybody's not equipped for that.
Nope.
That's not their thing. And it just
Nope.
happened to be a really, really bad moment. The reality is I need to be on my knees and not throwing up all over a person because only God could really have helped me, which was the only person that did help me, when you really think about it. But sometimes you have those people that you could call up anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um,
No matter
right? Like
what,
we
no
told
matter
people, listen,
where when it is or what
we're
time it
gonna,
is.
exactly. We're going to listen because we know that you need that voice. You know, even in, like, like you said, like I'm talking out loud to hear myself think, but I'm talking out loud. I need to hear myself think, and I need you to
Right.
hear me too.
Right.
You know, and it's
Absolutely.
important. You do need that. But some people just, and you gotta, and the thing is, you gotta know who's who. Because even with siblings, and
Yeah.
relatives,
With family.
people.
Absolutely.
You got to know who's who for that. So that's important too. But people, you know, you have to take care of self in order to be able to take care of other people. So if you see people who don't take care of themselves, they're never going to be able to be a friend to you or anything like
Mm-mm.
that. Not real, not really. And you'd be like, oh, they always that, not really, because they're not taking when it really gets down to that crunch, you'll realize that
Yes,
they don't have it in them.
that's correct.
Some people just don't have it in them.
So just to reiterate, we talked about, just make your goals. This is your fourth quarter. Make your goals for the first quarter of 2022 for your life, your business, your family, your relationships, your health, your mental health, as well as your physical health, you know. So focus on what you have accomplished. How far have you come? Focus on celebrating what you have done, making sure you check your attitude about it, whatever it is, right? Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend, to your best friend. Remember what you say about yourself to yourself, or what you say to yourself about yourself. Remember, you are listening. So be very mindful of what you're saying to yourself about yourself. Have self compassion. It's very important. Very, very important. Build self efficacy, right? Work on and spend time self analyzing, but remember to do it positively. Talk to yourself, what can I do? Right? Not what I can't do, what can I do? Right? Don't focus on what I haven't done, what I think I can't do. What can I do? Small chapters, baby steps. Make a decision to get going. That's the first step. Make a decision to go forward, not left, not right, definitely not backwards, but to move forward, fail forward.
hmm John
And
Maxwell's book.
yes, and
hmm
create positive peer pressure. Surround yourself with people who energize you, who help multiply, who encourage you, and help you improve your goals. That's real important. So,
I just wanted to add one thing. It's like, stop. We have a habit, and myself included. Stop regurgitating the past. You cannot operate from there because
look at me. You just slayed me.
regurgitate, huh?
You just
Yeah,
look at me. I just died. You just slayed me. That's that
it's
because
true.
that is
Because regurgitating
that
the
is
past,
truth.
it puts you in a place of no control because you cannot change it.
Yes.
You could only
Yes.
change the future, but that
Correct.
past, you taking all those steps backwards,
Yes. Right.
and you're bringing the wrong attraction to you.
Yep.
It literally immobilizes you. There's nothing that you could do about it.
I always say it's very important. And it's not just like that. I said about how that person talked about deleting people out of your contacts, out of your phone, off of your social media. I think that when you continuously talk about the same thing over and over and over again, is specifically when it is a negative, that is your red flag. That is your
Hmm.
warning sign that that was trauma for you.
Hmm.
And it means that you're in the triage.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
haven't moved out of triage into
Hmm.
a healing. You are
Hmm.
not doing, you haven't started physical therapy. You
That's
haven't
right.
started mental counseling. You haven't
Hmm.
started therapy at all. You are
Hmm.
stuck right there
Hmm.
in trauma, in triage.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know what has happened. You've been
Hmm.
told what has happened, but
Hmm.
you're still living in the diagnosis.
Hmm.
You're not moving toward the prognosis, which is
Exactly.
prognosis, progress, moving out of that place. And I think when you continue to rehearse something, as Steph said, regurgitating the past and the negative, you just keep opening that wound over
Exactly.
and over and
Over
over
and over
again.
again. It's true. It is so, so
Sometimes
true.
you have to learn how to delete. You have
Hmm.
to really delete it. You
Hmm.
know, I have learned, like, now I will say such and such, and somebody brings up somebody's name and I go, yep, not talking about that.
That's not. My thing is now, I say that was then, this is now. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey,
And
you
it's
have
and
to
it and
learn.
it's and it doesn't come from a place of hate.
Oh no, not
It
at
doesn't come
all.
from a
Not at
place
all.
of hate. It doesn't come from a place of anger. But the point is, what of that situation, from that person or whatever that was, that thing that hurt you, that put you in trauma, what did you learn? Now, if you want to
Hmm.
talk about what you learned,
That's
perfect.
different. Right. That's right.
If you
Exactly.
want to share how you made it through that, how you came through, how you were delivered from, perfect. But to
Hmm.
keep rehashing the hurt, the trauma, the pain, the damage, you need to move from there to healing.
Hmm. Is absolutely.
You need to evolve out of that.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have to then search for your resiliency, because obviously it didn't kill you. You are still here,
Exactly. That's
but
right.
you are allowing it to eat away at your soul and your spirit, because you keep bringing it up.
Hmm. Yeah.
So great point, Steph. That
Yeah.
great point. I 100% believe that.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
important. And and
very
us as
important.
women moving into these relationships, especially romantic relationships, you do not need to regurgitate your past and or these relationships with these
No, you don't.
that man, like if you tell him you were raped or whatever happened to you, he can't do nothing for you. It happened back then,
No.
you know. And if you don't know these people, they're like strangers to you. You
Right.
don't know what information he will do with that information. That may be
Right.
information for him to do things to you because you don't even know who he is yet.
Exactly.
You
Or
know,
who she
stop.
is. Or who she
Exactly. I
is.
mean, she
Yep.
is. You're
That's
giving
true.
people too much leverage, you
Right.
know, and you have to be very, very careful about that. Now they got your
Right.
life story, and you only knew them for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like,
And trust me, the manipulator takes every piece of what you share and
every piece.
figures out, oh, so that's her weak spot right there.
Exactly. How am I
That's
gonna use
it.
that against her?
So that's where they play. They
Exactly.
play with you. Open that cesspool up, and they say, "Well, let me pour. I'm gonna pour some more stuff in there for you, because I already know you know how to handle it. You already
Exactly.
know you dealing with it right now. You haven't let it
Hmm.
go yet,
Hmm.
and obviously you also didn't learn from it. So,
Exactly.
hey." You want to play there? I can play there.
Mhm.
So, right,
That's
be
right.
careful about the stuff that you're sharing.
Now
And
you write your book and you put it in your book, and they want to read your book, but that comes from a place of empowerment. You told your story, help somebody else. That's a whole different thing. Or or like you have a podcast. You share some of your stories. You want to learn. You listen to pod. It comes from a place of
yes,
empowerment. It's a whole
yes,
different place.
small chapters.
Exactly. Not
And the
all
thing
woe is
is,
me. And you
I'm
should love
telling
me
my
because
story. Right, right. And right, empowerment because I'm telling the story. It's my story.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
your story. And guess what? Nobody can tell your story better
No.
than you,
That's right. That's right.
right?
Absolutely. Hmm.
No one can tell your story better than you because you were there, they were not,
Hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So you have to
Hmm.
always remember that.
So
Tell
true.
your own story.
That's right. That's even to women, female friends, these new friends you meet, same thing. Because they will take those things and use it against you also.
Right.
Like you said, the master manipulators come in friendships also.
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Steph, you have any final last words? I really I enjoyed this today. I feel like we coached each other today, which was
Yes,
amazing. I
yes,
love it,
yes, yes, yes.
And so, um,
Did you
for
have
those,
some fun? I would just say that come from a place of happiness and peace. And if you truly focus on those things, you'll get so much of those things back to you. You
mm-hmm,
focus on all these negative things, that's all it's going to come to you.
right,
You have to vibrate at a higher frequency to have a better life. Because most people operate very low,
yep,
and they're not happy to see happy people. So you gotta limit your circle of people too. You know, so just be happy,
right,
definitely, and it makes
right,
your life so much easier when you're happy when you operate from that space.
right. So you can choose. I just had this thought. You can choose to be an eagle, or you can choose to be a chicken,
And I know that's right.
right? Because an eagle
Eagles.
soars.
Exactly.
A chicken flaps and hovers over the ground because the
Mm-hmm,
chicken
mm-hmm.
can't go but so chicken can go
Nope.
from the ground to the fence, but that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much as high as the chicken is gonna go. But
Yep.
that eagle, man, that eagle takes off.
That's right. That's
So you
right.
can either be a chicken or an eagle.
Yeah. And
Choose
you
which
definitely
one you
in
want
this
to
day
be.
and time, you don't even want to be a chicken because half these chickens they're not even born with legs no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, but the chicken also gets picked up, could get picked up by the eagle and become a big one.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
be an eagle. Be an
Hmm.
eagle. Start looking at, like I said, it's the fourth quarter, but
That's right.
great things can happen in the fourth quarter.
Hmm.
If you watch football, you have seen the turnovers happen. You thought
Hmm.
your team was going to win.
What? Here
Somebody
they come
steal.
out of the blue sky.
Come on. And you are mad. You are mad at
Just
your
set it
team.
off. That's
You are
right.
mad at your team. But just think about it. If it could happen in football, have that
Hmm.
same attitude, right?
That's right.
Block
Hmm.
it, steal it,
That's
whatever.
it's true. And
But
then- and that negative, you got to move people out of your life or to limit your
absolutely.
conversation, your time with negative people.
Yes.
Because that negativity will literally kill you,
Yes.
and it'll
Some
stop
people
all
you
your
have to
hopes from
bench.
coming. Mm-hmm.
Some
Yep.
people you have to bench. Some people you
Mm-hmm.
have to replace. Some people you have to remove off the team altogether. Some people
Mm-hmm.
you got to burn their jerseys.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's true.
End the story.
That's right.
But make your fourth quarter strong. Go in headstrong. Come out strong on the other side, and be ready for your first quarter for 2022.
Exactly.
We thank you all so much for joining us today. We hope that you garnered something today, that we dropped some pearls and that we shared with you. Again, you know that I'm a life coach. Steph is a life coach and a style coach. So you know how to get in touch with us. You can reach me at IDO love coaching at gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Spotify or on Facebook as well. Steph.
You can reach out to me on my mentor dot life slash Stephanie Deani Green
Mm-hmm.
on Spotify, on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, on
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yes. And on Instagram. Sorry, I didn't say that. Or on the gram, as the young folks say, right?
Exactly. On
So
IG.
on IG. Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Steph,
DM me.
we
You
may
can
need to
DM
talk. We need to talk
me.
about IGTV. Yeah. So we need to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, so we hope that you all, as I said, enjoyed this time with us. We enjoyed it with you. Um, Set your goals, get your mind right, get your life on track, do what you need to do, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of this Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Spend some time with your family and your friends. Spend some time with yourself, most of all. But have a blessed weekend. Thank you all so much. We
Have
appreciate
a
you.
blessed weekend. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
honey bunny.
Bye, honey bunny.